We're Americans, right?
Yes.
We're Americans.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Uh, we're Americans, and
How funny is that? Like just giving our two backgrounds. We're Americans.
We're Americans. We're Americans. It's like we're Americans. There's one thing about like the power of the little guy that I am very sad about. Because you see, I love America, by the way. I consider it my new home, and I want my kids to grow up here. I'm very grateful for the opportunity that I have in the United States, and I criticize the United States politics, and I criticize it out of love, the same way that I was criticizing what's happening with Egypt out of love. What is worrying for me is how the power of the little man is diminishing. It doesn't matter now who do you vote into power. They will not listen to you. They would listen to the people who paid them to be there. And it is very concerning because I can see the American democracy is turning, not even slowly, very rapidly into an oligarchy. I'm sure that all of the millions of people who are voting, they don't vote for the NRA. They don't vote for AIPAC. They don't vote for the pharmaceutical companies. They don't vote for the military industry complex. And yet, the people in power, they come in, they take your vote and my vote, and they are loyal to those people, not to us. And it is very, very, very concerning. Very concerning. And this is the danger of American on American policies, American politics and American democracies. It is dangerous because basically the vote becomes just like a ceremony that the someone with the more like funding will get to power, and then he's not loyal to you.
Still, the fire. I mean, we are in Texas. Everybody's armed to the teeth here.
Yeah, but like, what are these arms going to do in front of tanks?
Well, you said the American military is unique in this way.
I know, but for now,
the tanks are. First of all, I believe Russia has more tanks than the United States. Tanks, I don't know. You know, I'm not an expert in military strategic deployment of arms, but the United States uses different kinds of weapons.
They have drones and they have the lasers, and they're sitting comfortably behind the screens. It's kind of like, it turns like a big Xbox game.
Yeah, and they sell a lot of those things to everybody.
It's crazy because the defense budget is 68% of American military. It's like almost $850 billion each year. Mm-hmm. And most of that weapons, we don't even need it.
Yeah.
We just do it because of the contracts. There was like an incredible 60 Minutes. I'm sure that you saw it. The one about like the gouging of the prices of the Department of Defense. It was one of the most fascinating things that I've ever seen. They said like a safety oil valve that used to be sold for $329. Now it is sold for $9,000. Why? Because there's only 5 weapon companies, and they can control the prices. And in 2006, the whole Apache fleet of the American army in Iraq was grounded because there was one valve that they were like gouging the price and didn't want to give them. The Stinger missile, the just like the missile, the one that you carry, and it's like the anti-aircraft. It used to be sold for $25,000. Now it's sold for $400,000. And nobody is doing that. You know why? Because the DOD has fired 130,000 people, including engineers and negotiators. So now, in order to cut expenses, now we're paying more money. And the thing is, we do not have a say in this. We do not have a say in how my tax money and your tax money is being spent. Because I'm sure you don't want your money to be sent to Israel like that. I'm sure. Even if you're Jews, I'm sure that like I don't want my money to be given to some Muslim countries who kill other Muslims. I'm sure. But it is not. Here's the thing. What kind of power do we have other than speaking? So what is left for us is free speech. And now when you speak, they call you anti-Semitic. You see why I'm angry?
But still, I mean, America's holding pretty strong despite the criticisms on the free speech front. But if you look at the freedom of the press, freedom of the speech index, America is not at the top.
It is not. And this is why, for example, it is very disheartening for me to see that the Western media, Western press that used to be the beacon of freedom are now using as mouthpieces. And it is funny how the New York Times, Nixon got angry in the New York Times in 1971 when they found leaks about him lying about the Vietnam War since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And now he hired the plumbers, the special unit and orders to go in and find the leaks. This was Watergate, basically, because he was angry to see who leaked that instead of fixing the problem. Now the New York Times have published this story about the rape that was a hoax that was written by Anna Schwartz, who's someone who have no experience. And now, when it was leaked, instead of them correcting themselves, they went in and they had their own investigation to see who leaked. The New York Times in 2003 became the mouthpiece of George W. Bush of the WMD. And now, as an American, I see that the New York Times is becoming a mouthpiece of a foreign country. Why do you do that?
One of the things that's really difficult to know is where to find the truth. It does seem that both sides use propaganda and both sides lie a lot.
But both sides, as in
both Israel and Palestine, pro-Palestine, pro-Israel. There's a lot of lies.
I know, but
I think
it's a lot of inequality, man. Are you like there's like a lot of people on the internet, but like who have the mainstream media siding with?
Yeah, but thanks to
and I'm
social
talking about
media.
Yes, thank God for social media, because now it's individuals. They are people.
Yes,
they're people. You're comparing BBC, New York Times, Washington Post, Wall Street Journal with just people with a TikTok account.
Yeah, who has more power in your view?
Now it is actually very, very fascinating to see the little man having that power over the media.
In fact, disproportionately so. This is my problem.
But you cannot call people with TikTok propagandists while people being paid to give you the news and they deliberately lie to you.
Well, yes, I can. They're both propagandists.
Yeah, well, okay, yes, but the mechanism and the intentions are different because here's the thing.
I'd rather have the TikTok guy than the
if like the TikTok guy is a TikTok guy, all right. But if you have the New York Times being told that they being exposed to be lying, and then they get this like UN report, which is like a disgrace, and you just put the title and you don't talk about it. It's like, I'm fine with CNN and Jake Tapper and all of those people like spreading the rape allegations for years. I don't even want them to refute them. I want them to bring the Israeli reports saying that it didn't happen. The Israeli media themselves, they didn't even bother, not once. Is that balanced? That's not. Yeah, so that's why people in TikTok, because they have to take matters in their own hand.
Yeah, but the problem with the people in TikTok is the drug, the dopamine rush of getting a lot of likes. So instead of talking about the death of civilians, they'll talk about beheaded babies or the equivalent of.
Yeah.
They're going to actually make up stories because the made up stories are going to be more viral. And so now we're just in this muck of lies.
And there's a lot of people who actually expose those lies on TikTok. So you have both. You have both. And it's kind of like the democracy of the social media, as we always call it. But if you have the street-run media, that is the legacy media, CNN, BBC, New York Times, Fox News, all of those people, and they are like spreading lies and they're not even doing their journalistic job in order to at least bring the other side.
Yeah,
that's problematic,
and that's worse. You're supposed to be journalists.
Yes, it's supposed to be report. Report.
Yeah, but I see that this is like a catalyst, an inspiration for the citizen journalists to rise up.
This is what you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
This is what you're doing. No, this is what you're doing because you go into the deep dive. This is like a no filter thing. There's no spin.
The long form. The long form is going to save us.
I see why you hate the TikToks, like a dopamine rush.
Stupid TikTok.
I 5 hours later, I saw the resentment in your face.
I can't look away.
For like those 30 seconds, I do 4 hours.
I mean, both have a place. Both are exciting, and but I can't. It is very dangerous. Like you can't look away, and I almost never. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I almost never feel better ever after having used TikTok.
Makes two of us. I can't. I cannot. I have a team. By the way, I give my password to like a team. I don't even go there because I once in a dark night, very late at night, I went TikTok and it was like 2 hours. What?
Yeah.
What? I said, no, this is dangerous. I'm already like an Instagram and Facebook guy. I don't need that.
But even man.
And I barely get out of Twitter. I mean, like X, I can't. X is a cesspool. X is just like the concentrated hate in X is too much. It's too much. I can't.
So you don't check it at all? You try not to check it at all? It is very intense.
I don't. I can't. I just like I post something and I run.
Post and ghost.